Hi, my name is Francis Conrad, and I help people to live the life that they love. And this video today is for people who, like myself, retire after being many years in a profession, being many years in a job, and when they retire, they find themselves living a life that they don't love it. It's not satisfying. It doesn't appeal, but they're sort of stuck in it. And so it's a sad story how many of us end up in situations after having a full life and feeling like we were a contributing part of society. And then we end up after retirement feeling like, you know, this is not what I wanted. This is not the life that I was meant to live. And so what I want to look at is opportunity. You see, when a person retires, there's like so many different ways we can go. And this direction here is one opportunity. This direction is another opportunity. And so much of the quality of what our life is like has to do with those choices that we take along the way, along the different opportunities that present themselves. And what I'm going to look at today is certain opportunities I think open us up to a very different lifestyle when we retire, and certain other opportunities I think close us down, limit what's possible for us when we retire. So the choice between an opportunity that really opens up possibilities and an opportunity that limits us could make the difference between a life that I really do not like and it doesn't feel right for me, and a life that then, if it does feel right, often opens up to more and more possibilities and more opportunity for a life that really is fulfilling and satisfying. So all of what we're talking about in terms of opportunities, in terms of possibilities, can make a huge difference, can make the difference between the quality of one's whole future after they retire. Let's start with one of the key opportunities that presents itself and look at the consequences depending on how we address this. The opportunity is, am I going to set my life up to accomplish goals? So a goal might be that I'm going to do something, I'm going to accomplish something, and I have a very specific plan in mind. Now, obviously, when we have a specific plan, we're hoping that we're going to accomplish what we want. On the other end, instead of having plans to accomplish goals, what if I have an intention to move in a certain direction, to start something, but with my intention, I'm open to so many opportunities, because along the way, I'm not sure what types of things I might be dealing with. Along the way, once I start moving with my intention, I might shift my goals. I might change what I'm going after. And it gives me a lot more flexibility, so I'm not so stuck in needing to have one goal or one opportunity present itself. I basically open myself up to countless opportunities that might come along the way. As long as I'm moving with an intention to go in a certain direction, to, you know, be active, then my intention sets me up for being present to whatever might come my way. So you could see between these two, one tends to lock me in, tends to limit me to the specific goal that I've set. And the other one, the intention, sets me on a course that whatever things come my way, I can address those as they come. And one way tends to open up to more and more opportunities, and the other way of setting goals tends to limit me, and often the goal that I set may not be accomplished because what I want may not happen the way I wanted it, and so I could become disappointed, having bypassed endless numbers of opportunities that might have led me to something even better. So let's let that one aside. But you're starting to get the idea that when we retire, sometimes we become our own obstacle by trying to set goals and do things that have to turn out a certain way. I'm going to now take something very similar, and we're going to look at travel. And I look at travel so much in my life because to me, when I travel, I find that opportunities open up even more than I've found when I stay back home. So I look forward to travel and look forward to the types of opportunities that present themselves. So here's again the options between going on a journey and having a destination. Now, when I travel, you could say I get off a plane in Europe or in the Far East or somewhere. That's where my journey begins. And where is my destination? Surprisingly enough, I love to travel in such a way that my destination, this might sound totally weird to somebody who's not a traveler, but my destination in this case is where I fly back from. So I get off the plane and it's totally uncharted. I can go wherever I want. I can do whatever I want because I'm a person who loves the journey. I can meet whoever I want, and I'm never disappointed by not having something that I wanted, because anywhere I go, the opportunities for the journey are whatever present themselves, whatever is around. And then you'd say, what's my destination? My destination is that on a certain date at a certain time, I'm able to get on my return flight to fly back home. And all that happens in between arriving, starting my journey and continuing my journey, everything I come across, everything along my path is part of that journey. And I really open myself up to being present to the journey. And usually when I travel this way, I run into so many opportunities, and I have so many synchronicities and so many chance meetings that are so fulfilling and bring me, a sense of the value of this journey for me personally, that I think that retirement would be missing so much for me if I didn't give myself the opportunity to be on journeys, the opportunity to be youthful and open, and to really take advantage of whatever presents itself. And the only place for me to do this is out of the country, to go to a foreign country, because the opportunities there are so much more interesting and exciting. I see things I've never seen before. I get to do things, I get to eat foods that I've never eaten. It opens me up to something that is really fresh. And each day when I go out to begin my journey for the day and walk down the street, I have no idea what I'm going to encounter. And that keeps me young, and it really excites me. So destinations have very little interest other than to get me home at the end of my journey. And the journey itself is what attracts me. Think about retirement. Walking away from a career, from a lifelong profession, and beginning retirement. What if that were all seen as an opening to a huge journey that can unfold? And just like the traveler, it doesn't matter where we end up as long as we're opening ourselves up to opportunities along the way, as long as we're finding a life. And we surround ourselves and connect with people who are useful, maybe for a part of our journey, and who become friends. All of what the journey stands for applies to retirement. And just like the person who is a traveler who goes on a journey, the person who retires wants to get up in the morning, walk out the door, and begin a lifestyle that really is attractive and that feels challenging and at the same time rewarding. It's the same thing for the person who retires as for the person who travels. The destination is not so much a big concern because there are so many ways that we might not want to even end up at that destination, and something else catches our attention along the way. Let's take another one. Within me, inside of who I am, I say is the person who is perfectly capable of retirement and has everything that's needed. It's already built in. The things that I'm talking about with beginning a journey or setting an intention to go after something, all that I need to set my intention to begin my journey, it's already inside. It's programmed in. I don't have to develop the sense of curiosity and wonder and the desire to step out and to be a part of life and to enjoy my life. That's all built in. And when I get my own head out of the way, my own thoughts, and especially the sense that, I have to work hard to make my retirement something that is enjoyable. Who says we have to work hard? We have all the skills and what it takes internally that we can move towards a life that is really fulfilling. And it doesn't have to include a lot of effort and work. So much of what we do in life, especially with our career, is designed in a way that it takes years and years of effort and work to really become experts at what we do. But what if that wasn't the case? What if so much of what we do actually would come naturally? And just like I'm saying with retirement and all the things we're talking about, with being a journeyer, a traveler, with, setting an intention, all that we do, what if innately we're already designed to move out and to be a part of life? And that's really what the person who retires is looking for, and it's the thing that's missing when we don't allow ourselves to just really allow ourselves to be a part of the life that's around us, to enjoy it and to be curious and to go after things. So the effort it's not only not necessary, I think it becomes an obstacle. It gets in the way. And rather than effort, the goal would be to just allow ourselves our fullness, allow it. Innately, it's already built in. And when we allow it, we're more like children whose eyes are open and who can get excited about almost anything. And that's the way the retired person wants to be, is to be in a place where they can learn to really enjoy anything that comes up around them, that they can make friends, that their life can be fulfilling. And I think on its own, we will end up being steered on this journey towards a lifestyle that fits us personally. I think that there's a lifestyle for everybody who retires. And for many of us, it might be actually starting another career. For others, it might be, contributing in other ways. But whatever it is, for me, it's going to be unique to my own interest and who I am and my own way of doing things. And I think it'll show up if we just let ourselves follow our innate abilities. What wants us, what wants us? It's like something wants me to be whatever it is that I can be at retirement. What wants me is attracting me. And how do I know? Because innately, I'm allowing myself to be attracted and to move towards what it is that wants me. And that could be so different for any person. So what I'm going to suggest is, it's not hard work and effort that puts together a lifestyle that works. It's innate. And when we allow ourselves to follow our interest and our curiosity, and to let that innate part of us direct us to what's going to be the most suited for us, I don't think we can go wrong. And if it's, another career, if we need to make money, that'll happen. And it'll happen without a lot of effort if we set ourselves aside and just allow this innate, natural ability to lead us. Now, this is going to be very similar to what I mean when we say, rather than need to control and think everything through, rather than need to, plan my life, what if I instead take my attention out of, the thinking part of my brain and connect to my heart? In my heart, I have a natural sensor that attracts me to people I like, that attracts other people to me, that connects me, and that opens up communication and relationship and situations where people join together and support each other. That all comes from my heart. I don't need to plan and figure that out as much as I open my heart to what is around me. Secondly, it's my gut. Not only my heart, but my gut can help lead me by what we call gut instinct. So what is a gut instinct? The gut instinct is, I'm walking down the road and I get to a certain place, and for no reason at all, I just decide I'm turning this way. That could be my gut instinct. It's a type of knowing that was the place to turn. I didn't think it, I didn't plan it, it didn't come from a sense of connection from my heart, it came from my gut. And our gut often knows in a way that we don't have the understanding yet to clearly explain it. But our gut knows things that our heart doesn't know and that our head doesn't know. Our heart knows things that our gut doesn't know in terms of relationship. And our head helps us to put things together and plan. But too often in our culture, we rely on our head to do things that really need to be better served through using our heart or our gut. So here we go again. We've got ourselves with an intention to act. We begin a journey being present to everything around us, and we trust our innate abilities, and now our intuition steps up And with our intuition, we add to all that a type of guidance, a sense of what's right for us that comes to us from forces that we don't have an explanation where it comes from. Some people would call it universal guidance. Some people would call it their higher self. Some people would call it God, angels. Whatever we call it, we're acknowledging that we're part of something larger and that we have connections at an intuitive level, at a level of the heart, that are a part of the guidance that helps people who retire to find the retirement that's perfect for them. So the last one I wanted to add has to do with mindset and spontaneity. You see, my mindset is my attitude, and I can have an attitude that gets in the way. My attitude could really stop me from the opportunities that are all around me. Why? Because I have an attitude that it's not open to those things. What if I could use spontaneity as a guide? So whenever a decision needs to be made, what just naturally wants to come up in me automatically without any thinking, and really trusting what we just called our intuition. That type of spontaneity gives me the opportunity to just know what's natural to me. I don't have to process anything to know what's natural. In fact, I just get out of the way and I allow myself to just have whatever is there. If it's, a feeling, even if it's sort of negative or frightening, I can just be with it and allow myself to be present, because that might be important in terms of something that I need to know. There's so many ways that negativity and uncomfortable emotions, all those kind of things, can actually help guide me to look at things that I don't want, or to know things about situations that I need to know. I'm uncomfortable here. This is not the right place for me. So in summary, those of us who retire, we have so many opportunities, but if we need to control our lives, and if we need to, have a very defined goals about what's going to happen, and if we effort a lot and have to think and plan and organize things, and if we're needing to, basically put together a life that follows a certain path, then we're in trouble in terms of having a lifestyle at retirement that really reflects us. I think that what's going to reflect us so much more is a lifestyle that innately evolves, comes to the surface. It's a lifestyle that has a solid grounding in our gut and in our heart. It's a lifestyle that really is enjoyable. It's like a journey that each day we look forward to going out and what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And overall, I believe whatever we need, whether it's another, profession, whether, it's a lifestyle change, finances, I think that our innate internal wisdom knows how to align us to any of those things, and we just give ourselves the opportunity to get out of the way, so that deeper knowing that is inside of all of us can lead us and direct us to what we need. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Obviously, there's so much we need to learn, and about how, ways to retire that work. And I think some of the choices that we looked at today can work in a way that really change the entire trajectory, the quality of retirement. And so I'm always glad for, any type of comments, because that'll help me to know what people are interested in, and also give me, feedback, and click like, or, whatever makes sense to you. And I just want to serve, because I feel like we're in this together, and all of us are going to figure out how to make it the best experience, the best retirement that could possibly fit for me and for everybody around me. So thank you again.